Hello friends, let me move on to the fifth data interpretation question, and this data interpretation question is going to be a simple interest compound interest DI, right? So friends, already we have seen 4 DI question, and first of all we have seen 2 missing data interpretation question. One is the question that is based on mark, and another is the question that is based on time and distance, that is missing data interpretation question. And another 2 important DI which we have already solved, one is that is based on a pie chart, that is degree based problem, and second is the data interpretation based on a mensuration, that is measurement based on triangle, square, circle, something. So we have already seen 4 different data interpretation question, and now we are going for a 5th data interpretation question which is more different, where the DI is completely based on simple and compound interest. Now let me move on to this data interpretation question, right? See here friends, a table chart is given, right? In the table charts they have given some of the that the company, right, A, B, C, D and companies are given, and another thing, some of the schemes are given, that is scheme number 1, scheme number 4, scheme number 3, such that, right? So friends, the value that is inside the table chart is rate of interest. They have given 9.8, 8 point something, is everything is a rate of interest. So this complete chart is going to be a rate of interest, and we need to find what is simple or compound interest for some other questions, right? So friends, before moving on to this data interpretation question, I just want to say one thing, that everyone knows, right? This is the 2 formula, which is simple interest formula and compound interest formula, right? Friends, if you need to crack these types of question in an exam, that is mainly upcoming SBI PO or IBBS PO 2016, whatever be, right? You should know one thing, that you should not use these 2 formulas to solve this data interpretation question. If you use these 2 formulas for solving a DI, for these types of DI question, definitely you can't able to crack a question within 4 or 5 minutes. It will nearly take you 20 minutes. Why? Because the upcoming question will be so difficult, right? By using this formula, we can't able to solve this question fastly in your exam, friends. So if you need to solve these types of question fastly, I am here to help you now. If you know these kind of tricks, you can definitely crack these types of questions within 2 minutes, the complete 5 questions, right? So friends, kindly download this video and watch the complete 5 sums. Listen carefully all the 5 sums. It might help you to solve if the question related to these types of question, if they ask in IBBS PO 2016. So friends, first of all, let me see, friends, if it is simple interest, right, I am just going to calculate what is the rate of interest for complete period, right, for complete duration. If the rate of interest is 10% per annum, that means for 1 year it is 10%, right? We need to calculate for 2 years. It is simple interest, friends. We already know if it is simple interest, we should not bother about anything. The rate of interest won't change. So 1 year 10%, time duration is 2 years. For the complete period, the rate of interest will be 20%, right? So 2 into 10 will be 20%. And here, second condition, R equal to 10% per annum, and time duration is 3 years. What is the overall rate of percentage, friends, for the overall 3 years? We can definitely say that 1 year 10%, for 3 years it will be 30%. Simple interest is so easy for calculating the overall percent, right? Similarly, rate of interest is 5% per annum. That means for 1 year 5%. We need to calculate for 6 years. What is meaning of the overall rate of interest, which is 6 into 5, that is 30%. Right? If we are going for a simple interest rate of interest, it is so easy, right? Without using a formula, we can just like that calculate the percentage for the entire given period. But only one thing, friends, if it is a compound interest, we can't just like that multiply it. If the rate of interest is 10% and the time duration is 2 years, if I ask you what is the complete rate of interest for 2 years, we can't able to say 2 into 10 is 20%. This is exactly wrong, right? We can't able to write like this. So what sort of formula we can use here, friends, which is most important? Remember that if we need to find the overall rate of interest for these kind of compound interest, don't use the formula, just use a formula called A plus B plus AB by 100. Right? Remember, friends, it is one of the most important formula if you need to solve this data interpretation question. Now we are just going to calculate 2 year 10%, that is compound interest, right? Remember, friends, for 1 year it is 10%, right? So 10% for 1 year, and next year it will be 10%. So I'm just going to keep this 10% as A, and I'm going to keep this 10% as B. Now I am going to substitute there, which is A, that is 10%, and B, which is 10%, AB, that is 10 into 10, which is 100 divided by 100. Now when we cancel, that is 1, 10 plus 10 is 20, 20 plus 1 is 21. So 21% is the rate of interest for the complete 2 year for this compound interest. Remember that if it is a simple interest, we can directly say that 2 into 10 is 20%. But if it is a compound interest, we can't able to say 2 into 10 as 20%. By using this simple formula, that is simple logic, we can calculate the 2 year 21%. And most of the students will ask me one thing, that what will we do if the rate of interest 10% and the time duration is 3 years? What sort of formula can be used here? Friends, listen here. If the rate of interest is 10% per annum, right, and the time duration is 3 years, if they have given like this, split this 10% for 3, 10%, 10%, right? For first year 10%, second year 10%, and the third year 10%. First of all, target first 2 year, friends. Keep the third year 10% remains as it is, right? First of all, let me target this 10% and 10%. We know that first 10%, which you have already calculated 21%, right? Remember, friends, for first 2 year, I am just going to calculate by using this formula, A plus B plus AB by 100, which we have already calculated. And now for the first 2 year, we have found 21%, right? For first 2 year, we have found 21%. And for the third year, they are already given, which is 10%. Now, keep this 21 as A and this as B. Now use the formula A plus B plus AB by 100. So similarly, we know that A is 21 and B is 10, and AB, which is 21 into 10, we know that 210 divided by 100. When we do this, 21 plus 10 plus 2.1, so 33.1% will be the compound interest if the rate of interest is 10% per annum for 3 years. So friends, remember that these two methods are so important to solve these kinds of problems. And most of the students will say, whether this is complicated, sir, I don't want to solve these types of complicated sums. I can better go for a traditional method. Though I have strong in percentage, I can calculate easily. So friends, I am just going to solve the first question which they asked in this data interpretation topic, that is based on this chart. See whether this method is useful, or by using a formula or using a normal traditional method is useful, friends. I can guarantee that if you know this concept, you can crack all the question that is based on this DA within 15 seconds, friends. Remember that I am talking about only 15 to 20 seconds. So let me move on to this, all the 5 different questions. So friends, just take a note of it. If you already know, don't worry about that. If you are going to learn newly, just take a note of it. It might help you to solve all the compound interest question in your exams. Let me move on to the first question of this table chart, right? So see here, friends, company E is offering a compound interest that is in scheme number 1, right? So company E that is offered in compound interest, and it is scheme number 1, and also for 2 years, right? Similarly, company A is offering simple interest that is in scheme number 4 for same duration, that is 2 years, right? We need to calculate what is the difference in the interest, right? This is our target, is to find what is the interest for this 2 year that is based on simple interest, and similarly we need to calculate what is the interest for 2 year that is based on compound interest for company E and company A. Our target is to find the difference, friends. So let me see company E. Look at the chart here, friends. Company E and scheme number 1, where the rate of interest is 9%. Similarly, see the chart here, company A and scheme number 4, where the rate of interest is 10%, right? So first of all, let me think how to solve in a formula. I am not going to substitute in a formula, which will definitely take you 1 minute, right? Don't go for these stupid methods in your exams, right? But know how to solve this, right? So here we know that the principal, where there are both of them are investing 1.2 lakh, right? And the time duration we know, which is 2 years, and the rate of interest which we know 10%, and divide by 10, we use to calculate what is simple interest, right? This is the normal way by using a formula. And if I go for a compound interest, see the principal that is 1.2 lakh, rate of interest which is 9%, divide by 100 power n, which is 2 years, minus 1.2 lakh. By seeing this itself, it definitely take you 1 minute, friends. To solve this compound interest will definitely take you 1 minute. If you go for a traditional method also, it will take you 30 to 45 seconds. And similarly, this takes you 20 seconds, 30 seconds or 30 seconds. That might definitely take you to solve this entire question within 1 minute 15 seconds, right? So friends, if we need to crack this question fastly, just see the shortcut which I am going to use now. I have already, before 5 minutes, I think I have already taught you this how to find the rate of interest for the overall period, right? So friends, remember that this is simple interest, right? For 1 year, the rate of interest is 10%. Our target is to find 2 years. Because of simple interest, we can directly multiply, right? So 1 year 10%, for 2 years, it is 20%, right? 20% for the overall period, right? And let me move on to the compound interest. I have taught you one formula that in the initial stage itself, which is A plus B plus AB by 100, right? So friends, here the rate of interest is 9%. Listen carefully, the rate of interest which is 9%. Our target is to find for 2 years. So let me split 9%, 1 year 9%, 1 year 9%, and keep this 9% as A and second year 9% as B. So try to substitute in the formula so that we can get the overall period rate of interest, right? So A, which is 9, and B, which is 9, plus AB, which is 81 divided by 100, right? So 9 plus 9, 81 by 100 can be written as 0.81, right? Don't try to cancel it in 9 table, 3 table, and don't waste your time, right? So 81 by 100 can be written as 0.91. So 9 plus 9 is 18. 18 plus 0.81 is 18.81 is the percentage for 2 years, that is compound interest. Friends, remember that this is overall percentage, right? And for the simple interest, our overall percentage is 20%. So friends, our target is to find what is the difference, right? So this is simple interest, and we go for a compound interest overall percentage, which is 18.81%. Our target is to find the difference. Let me see the difference in the percentage, right? Don't calculate the interest and find the percentage, right? First of all, let me try to see what is the difference in both the interest, friends. Here it is 20, here it is 18.81. So the difference will be 1.19%. So we have found the difference between the company E percentage and the company A difference, that is in the interest, which is 1.19%. Now our target is to find what is the interest amount, right? They both have just invested 1.2 lakh, right? So we need to find 1.19% of this 1.2 lakh, friends, right? So be faster on calculating this. So listen carefully, where 1.19% can be written as 119 divided by 100 into 100 into this 1,20,000, right? So 1,20,000. Friends, got it, friends? Where in order to remove this percentage, I have put divided by 100, right? Here it is 1.19. In order to remove the decimal point, this can be written as 119 by 100. So 119 by 100 is to remove the decimal point, and in order to remove this percentage, divide by 100. We know that this is 1,20,000. So 1,20,000. Let me cancel the zeros, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Similarly 1, 2, 3, 4. So now we have got 119 into, here it is 12. So friends, we need to already in many of the sums, many of the video, I have taught you that how to multiply these two numbers faster, right? Don't go for this school method, right? They used to calculate like this. Don't follow this method in your exams. Remember that split the value and merge. That will help you to solve this multiplication faster, right? Listen carefully here. 119 into 10 plus 2, right? 12 can be written as 10 plus 2. Where 119 into 10, 1190. 119 into 2, that is 238. When we add 1428, so finally we got the difference, that is for this amount will be 1428. Friends, whether you are going to follow this method or whether you are going for a formula method, right? So everyone like this method, which is so easy to crack these types of question in our exams. So whatever question, if the DI that is based on simple interest, compound interest, if they ask you the difference, kindly don't use this formula. Better go for the formula which I have taught you now, and if you find the overall percentage, then calculate the what is the different interest, that is what is the difference in both the percentage. If we calculate the difference of the percentage, then both the person have invested 1.2 lakh. So if I calculate 1.2 lakh, that is 1.19%. Be faster, that we need to learn how to multiply this number faster, right? If you know this multiplication, definitely this sum might take you only 30 to 35 seconds to crack this question in our exams. So let me move on to the second question. Now let me move on to the question number 2, right? Where Mr. X deposit, right? So Mr. X is depositing some amount in scheme number 2, that is in company C for 2 years. So after 2 years, he withdraw the amount and reinvest the principal in scheme number 4, that is in company B, and that is also for 2 years. So finally, he receive an interest amount from both the company, that is 14,800. So our target is to find what is Mr. X deposited, that is what is the principal amount initially he invested, right? So friends, first of all, this question is completely based on simple interest, right? So another important thing in this question is that, see here friends, where first of all Mr. X is depositing in scheme number 2 and company number C for 2 years. So after 2 years, he withdrawing the amount and he is not investing the overall amount in scheme number 4. Remember, he is not investing the overall amount. He is investing only the principal amount in scheme number 4. See the question here friends, he is investing only the principal, right? So he is not investing the overall amount. That is for the company B and 2 years. Finally, he got 14,800. So friends, first of all, we know that this 14,800 is the total interest, right? So we know that the company C, look at the chart friends, company C and it is scheme number 2 where the rate of interest is 9%. Similarly, company B and scheme number 4 where the rate of interest is 9.5%. So because of simple interest, we know one method, that where the rate of interest which is 9% and time duration is 2 years. So how to calculate the overall percentage friends, which we have already taught you in the introduction itself, right? So the overall percentage, rate percentage, that is for 1 year 9%, for 2 year that is 18%, right? This is for the first 2 year, that is in company C, right? And he investing the principal alone, that is in the company scheme number 4 in company B, right? We know that company B scheme number 4 is 9.5%, right? For calculating overall percentage where the rate of interest is 9.5, we need to calculate for 2 years, which is 9 into 2, that is 18, 0.5, so 18 plus 1 is 19%. The overall percentage for this company B, which is 19%, right? This is called as a second, that is company B. So friends, finally he got the interest 14,800, right? We know that for company C 18% and company B which is 19%. When we add these 2%, which will result in the overall percentage, right? So the overall interest percentage, so 18 plus 19, which is 37%, is the overall interest that he obtained. So the overall interest amount they have given that, which is 14,800. So our target is to find what is the Mr. X deposited, that is the principal amount, initial amount. So we can take the amount which is initially deposited as 100%, right? So I have already taught you many sums that to cross multiply like this. So X into 37, so 37 into X equal to 14,800 into, when we cross this here it is 100. So X is equal to 14,800 into 100 divided by 37. So I think let me cancel this on 4 times. 37 into 4, which is 148. So 40000, which is X is equal to 40,000. So finally we have got Mr. X, that is deposited amount, so 40,000. So finally we got X is equal to 40,000 is the principal amount where X is deposited, right? So friends, if you move on to this formula method, will be so difficult friends. We can't able to just like that calculate the principal. If we are going for a formula method or something where the rate of interest is different, if the rate of interest in both the company is same, we can directly calculate for 4 years and we can calculate what is the principal amount. Here the rate of interest is 9.5, here the rate of interest is 9%. So we need to separately calculate the principal, then finally we need to add and divide by 2, that will result and will be 40,000. So better don't go for formula method, learn this, it might definitely help you to solve these kinds of questions. Let me move on to the third question, right? See the question here friends, a man invested 45,000, a man is investing 45,000 in company B, that is in scheme number 3 for 2 years, but here it is compound interest, right? And the equal amount, and the woman is also investing an equal amount, which is 45,000 in company C, and it is scheme number 4, and it is based on simple interest for 2 years, right? So our target is to find who earns the more interest and how much, right? So whether women earns more or man earns more interest, and first of all our target is to find this and also to find how much more they earn, right? So friends, first of all, we just see here the scheme number 3, that is company B. See the company B, scheme number 3, where the rate of interest is 8%, right? Similarly, company C and scheme number 4, where the rate of interest is 10.5%. So friends, first of all, our target is to find how much interest both the persons have obtained, right? So friends, you know that I don't use formula anywhere else. So better you, if it is a compound interest, right, we need to find what is the rate of interest here, then we can find what is the interest that A obtained. But remember that it is a compound interest for 2 years. So 8%, you know my methodology, where 8% I will use to keep it as A, and this 8% I will use to keep it as B. So in order to find 2% for 2 years, A plus B plus AB by 100. So A, which is 8%, B, which is 8, plus AB, which is 64, divided by 100. So 8 plus 8 plus 0.64, that is 16.64%. Friends, remember that if a man invests 45,000, that is in rate of interest 8% 2 year in compound interest, he finally earns an interest amount which is 16.64%, right? 16.64 is the interest percentage. Let me calculate how much the woman earns, right? Where the woman is simple interest for 2 years, which is 10.5%. Remember friends, it is a simple interest, right? So we can directly multiply 10.5% per annum. So we need to calculate for 2 years. So into 2, 10 into 2 is 20, 0.5 into 1, so 21%. Friends, listen carefully. Here the woman earns 21% interest, and similarly here the man earns 16.64% interest. They were asking who earns more interest and how much. From this data itself, we have clearly found that the women have earned more interest, right? Why? Because the interest percentage is 21% and here it is 16.64%. Both are investing a same amount, so we can clearly say that the women earns more interest. But one thing where the students will, most of the students will make a mistake, they are just asking how much, right? So how much interest have more. Remember friends, where the students will make a mistake, they used to calculate what is 21% for this amount, they will write the answer. That is exactly wrong. They were just asking who earns more interest and how much. That means we need to find how much more interest the person earned. If we need to find how much more interest, that means the difference between both the interest, right? Got it friends? They are just talking about how much more interest she earns. So I can say that the difference between both the interest percentage, right? Here it is 16.4% and here it is 21%. If we subtract this 16.64 minus 21, the resultant will be 4.36%, right? So final resultant will be 4.36%, where this 4.36% will be the difference of both the amount, right? So friends, they were talking about how much more the woman earns. So I can say that 4.36% she earns more profit, but our target is to find how much more, that is the amount, right? We need to calculate this 4.36% for the amount which the woman invested 45,000. So let me calculate 4.36% of 45,000 what she invested, right? So friends, you know that my methodology is that I used to write 436 divided by, in order to remove this decimal point, divide by 100. In order to remove this percentage, divide by 100. Most important friends, don't multiply by keeping this decimal point as it is, where we students will make lot of mistake, right? See here 4.36, in order to remove this decimal point, 436 divide by 100. In order to remove this percentage, so divide by 100 into 45,000. So friends, and now our target is to multiply this value faster, right? So let me cancel 0 0 and 0 0. Similarly 1 0 gets cancelled. So 45 into 436, which is 1962. So finally we got the answer 1962, right? We used to get 19620 friends, right? 19620, but here it is divided by 10. So 0 and 0 gets cancelled. So finally we got the interest that the women obtained. Not this is the interest women obtained, this much amount more, where the women obtain 1962. Friends, remember that this is not the interest that is obtained by the woman, this is the interest when compared to man. This 1962 amount is more obtained by the woman, right? So if they ask what is the only interest that obtained by women, we need to calculate what is the 21% for this. If they ask you what is the man interest, we can calculate 16.64. They are talking about how much more. If the word you find how much more, we need to calculate calculate what is the difference percentage and what is the difference interest they have obtained. So 4.36% is the difference. So we need to calculate 4.36 for this the amount which they have invested, which is 45,000. So finally we got the women have 1962 amount more interest when compared to men. Let me move on to the question number 4. Friends, in question number 4, I am just going to teach you a best shortcut you never seen. Why? Because everyone will teach you how to use shortcut in the answer. But now I am going to teach you how to use shortcut in the question itself, right? So let me move on to this question, friends. See here, friends, company D offers, right? So company D is offering simple interest in scheme number 4, and company D is offering compound interest in scheme number 2, and the person A is investing 25,000 in scheme number 4, that is simple interest for the first year. So after 1 year, he is just investing the principal and also the interest that he obtained in the first year to the scheme number 2, that is in compound interest, right? Where the rate of interest is 9% in scheme number 2, company D, and company D, that is scheme number 4, the rate of interest is 9.5%. Finally, what they're asking is that what is the approximate total amount we'll get at the end of the 2 years. They're talking about after 2 years, what is the total amount where A received. Friends, understood the concept where A is investing 25,000 simple interest for the first year, and which is 9.5%. After 1 year, he invested the principal as well as the interest that he obtained in the first year and to the scheme number 2, right? Where the scheme number 2 is based on compound interest. Friends, listen carefully. Here it is simple interest for scheme number 4 for 1 year. You should know one basic note, that always remember the interest for the first year is same for simple interest and also for compound interest. Friends, everyone know this, right? The interest that obtained for the first year, though it is a simple interest or compound interest, both the interest for the first year is always same, right? In the question, they are talking about for only 1 year. See here, A is investing 25,000 in simple interest, right, for only 1 year, and the next year he invests the principal and interest in scheme number 2. So friends, this area they are talking about for only 1 year. A is investing for only 1 year. Better we can change this simple interest as compound interest. Friends, listen carefully. I am just changing this simple interest as compound interest. Why? Because we know that the first year interest, though whatever amount we obtain, right, the first year interest will be same for simple and compound interest. So better, according we need to use our shortcut. I am just going to change the simple interest as compound interest. If they are talking about 2 year, friends, if the question is 2 year, we can't able to change simple interest as compound interest. Because of they are talking about first year, we know that the first year both the interest are same. So I am just going to change the simple interest as compound interest. Now see what shortcut I am going to use now. We know that our target is to find what is the total amount received at end of 2 year. Here the first year, which is 9.5% rate of interest, and second year 9%. We know that the both are compound interest. So what is the overall percentage in order to calculate this compound interest for 2 years? Everyone knows, which I have just now I have taught you, which is A plus B plus AB by 100. Let me take A as 9.5%, right, and B as 9%, and AB, which is 9.5 into 9 divided by 100. So friends, remember that in order to use this formula, I have applied a shortcut in the question itself, right? So if I apply this shortcut, both the interest have been changed into compound interest. So we need to find what is the interest for 2 years, right? They are talking about total amount. If I calculate the interest, so that I can add with the principal amount, right? Now 9.5 plus 9 plus 9.5 into 9 by 100, right? So 9.5 plus 9, which is 18.5%. Friends, 9.5 into 5, which is 9.5 into 9, which is approximation, right? They are talking about approximately. Let me take 9.5 as 9. 9 into 9, that is 81 by 100. So I can say that 18.5% plus 0.81%, which is approximately 9.3 something percentage, friends, right? So approximately we have calculated 9.33%. We need to calculate what is the interest amount. Then only we can add the principal and also interest to obtain the overall amount. Friends, we need to calculate this 19.33% for A invested, which is 25,000. So better I can do one thing. 19.33 can be taken as 20%. Friends, remember it is an approximate answer, right? So I am 19.33. I am just going to take as 20%. 20% of the amount which is invested is 25,000. We know that 20% of 25,000 will be is 5,000. So finally we got the 5,000 as a compound interest for 2 years. They are talking about the overall amount, that is they are talking about the total amount. We know the total amount is equals to principal plus interest. Principal, which is 25,000, and interest which we obtain is 5,000. So finally we got 30,000 is the overall amount. So friends, remember one thing, that here 19.33 percentage, approximately we have took 20 percentage. Friends, got it? 19.33 percentage, we have took 0.75 percentage more, right? The answer which we obtain is 30,000. So definitely the answer should be below 30,000. Friends, don't forget 19.33 percentage, right? And we have took 20 percentage, that is 0.75 percentage more, and the total amount which we finally got is 30,000. So we can definitely say that the answer, the total amount should be definitely below 30,000. Here is the question number 5, right? Try to solve this question number 5 without using any formula, right? In the previous 4 sum, we have not even touched any formula. So similarly, don't try to solve this question by using any formula. Try to solve by using our techniques or our methodology, that is a plus b, ab by 100, right? Thank you so much for watching this video, and don't forget to subscribe my channel. Go to my channel, which is feelfreetolearn.com, and subscribe it to watch the next video with as a lot of shortcuts, right? So thank you so much friends. Bye, take care.